Rashin from Iran married a German man in 2006. She moved to Berlin to be with him. After her husband left her, she stayed in the German capital. Today, Rashin is an executive assistant at a large pharmaceutical company. Konstantin had left Moscow because of the growing anti-Semitism he felt there and emigrated to Germany with his family. He had problems adjusting. Then his wife left him, taking their small son with her. Now he and his new family live in Leipzig, and he works as a singing teacher. Florina came to Germany as a tour guide during the 2006 Soccer World Cup and hoped to stay here. In Mexico, she experienced discrimination because of her indigenous roots. But because she had no visa, she had to return to her country. Florina then worked with indigenous people in the south of Mexico and received the surprise offer of a scholarship to an elite private university in Mexico City. Amir fled Togo at the age of 16 and applied for asylum in Munich. He lived in an orphanage with other refugees. He finished secondary school and began an apprenticeship in a bakery, but his application for asylum was rejected. Then came a change to the law. Because Amir had successfully completed his vocational training, he received a temporary residence permit. His guardian, Albert, was very supportive throughout that time. Today, Amir lives in a rented apartment in Munich.
It's not easy to live in Munich. Rent is so incredibly expensive. If you want to live just a little bit better, you have to work hard.
Amir is now a certified baker. He usually works the night shift. And he has an extra job with a cleaning crew.
I'm still working in my old bakery where I did my apprenticeship. It still means a lot to me because I had to struggle for many long years. And the atmosphere at work has turned positive for me, especially since I got my certification. That's compared to before when I was an apprentice. Back then I had a lot of problems because of stress with my co-workers and things like that. Once I had a talk with my boss. I was having a problem with racism, and he said to me, "Amir, it's difficult. I've always worked with black people in my business, but not in the bakehouse. You have to fight your own battles. It's hard for you because the people there aren't used to Africans or people of color." So I just closed my eyes and ears, and that helped a lot. I think at some point I'll take the exam to become a master baker. That's one of my goals. I'll have to work hard because it's not easy.
Da muss ich wirklich hart arbeiten noch, weil das ist nicht einfach.
Listen, it's time to pray.
In Mexico City, Florina is also finding life quite difficult.
Every day is stressful here. Too many people, too much traffic, too much noise. It was different in Germany. It was as if a weight had been taken off my shoulders. The lifestyle was very relaxed there. And when you come here, it's immediately stressful. My university scholarship only covers the tuition. There's no money for food or rent or transportation. I have to work in order to feed myself. I have to hold down 2 jobs at the same time, one at the university and another one. There's not enough money, just enough to get by. I have a certain amount I can spend every day, and nothing more. There's very little. It's just enough to live on. I make do with the minimum.
Con lo mínimo.
Good morning. 1 kilo of carrots, please.
Florina shares an apartment with her sister Veru. Sunday is the only day they have time to spend a few hours together.
So, how was boxing yesterday?
Boxing? I'm already in the ring.
Really? You're in the ring?
Yeah, we're trying out the punches.
Yeah?
It's incredible.
You're even more extreme than me. You know, I never thought you'd start boxing.
You should try it. You're the right weight.
Well, the right weight, but no strength. I feel much too weak to hit someone with my arms. I think I can work better using my mind.
In Berlin, Rasheen is meeting up with her Iranian friend Golnar.
Do you dance salsa?
Sometimes, if I find a good partner.
Yes, in salsa the man has to be a good dancer.
Like last night.
I don't think German men are good at salsa.
No, they can't, like in dance class.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, now turn. And some of them even forget to turn. Once I was dancing with this guy who seemed to be reading out loud.
Typical German, right?
Schön.
Berlin's annual Carnival of Cultures is in full swing.
Hey, where we come from, you can't go around like that. We don't normally dress like this either. Well, once a year it's nice. Right.
Rasheen, look at me.
Thanks a lot. Have fun. Ciao.
Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allah liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Subhana Rabbi Allah. Allahu Akbar.
As a Muslim, I have to pray 5 times a day. At work, my colleagues will say, "Amir, don't you have to say your prayers?" They know I pray during my break. I was born a Muslim. And when I see something in the news or on television about Islam and violence, and that people think we're evil people, that hurts. Actually, Islam is about peace and people living together without problems.
Amir has few German friends. Most of his acquaintances are from Africa.
I don't have any problems here. But when I'm sitting on my bed or my sofa or wherever, I think of my homeland. It's a sad fact that you always carry homesickness in your heart. Look how I live. I'm alone here. Thank God I have my brother and friends, but not my parents.
Café Kiev in Leipzig is a popular meeting place for immigrants from the former Soviet Union. Konstantin and his band are giving a concert this evening. He describes it as a protest against the suppression of civil rights and freedom of expression in Russia.
There have been huge changes in Russia over the past 20 years. Everything is still in a state of flux. It's boiling over. And because they're sensitive people, the artists react especially sensitively.
Since the elections, widely considered fraudulent, Konstantin has been anxiously watching events in his old country. He's outraged at the way the government treats its opponents. In his Song About Putin, the pain of the Russian people is contrasted with the cynicism of the regime. Right outside Café Kiev, a group of young Germans are demonstrating for more self-determination for the arts in Leipzig.
I think every society has its problems. In Russia, there are also lots of people who simply want to be heard. Officially, there are no political prisoners there, but I know many people who've been convicted because they don't agree with the ruling system. The freedom of expression I experience here means that I can express myself without restriction. If someone disagrees with me, I can debate with him. And I know that I won't end up in jail or have to pay €1 million penalty.
Changes the demand of our hearts, changes the demand of our eyes. Konstantin is singing a song from the Perestroika era. It seems as relevant today as it did back then.
I think my last trip to Iran was the worst I've ever taken.
Schlechteste Reise überhaupt?
I had the impression that people are not doing well at all. There are a lot of problems in my family, and all the friends I saw were somehow dissatisfied with their lives because of the inflation and everything. People are at the end of their tether. Everything is very expensive, they have no freedom, and everything is dire. So I didn't feel very comfortable, and I've decided not to go next year. I'm planning to cut down. I'll go back every 2 years, not every year. I need some distance from my homeland.
Hallo, seid ihr alles zusammengekommen?
Ja, ganz zufällig. Hi. Hallo, meine Liebe.
Ja?
Roisin has invited some co-workers over for the evening. She's going to Florida on vacation soon to visit an Iranian friend.
Let's start.
Have you checked out the weather there?
Pretty warm.
When do you leave, Roisin?
On Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yes, first Orlando, then Miami. Miami. We say Miami.
Do you have an itinerary?
No, Iranians never read guidebooks.
Iranians are more spontaneous than we Germans.
Payam's only been there for 8 months and doesn't know his way around yet. He said I can be the tour guide.
Is it curry, cumin, kurkuma, or what?
He just wanted to leave Iran. That's why he applied to a university there. Everybody wants to leave Iran.
In Mexico City, Florina is meeting up with Karin, her friend and German teacher.
Sometimes I think I'm not going to make it.
You have to eat properly. Why don't you come over for lunch? I always cook something.
I do eat, but often I don't have time or I'm not hungry because I'm stressed out. But I want to keep learning and studying.
You're sure about that?
Yes, definitely. And Germany.
You're still interested in Germany. Couldn't you get your master's here?
I think Germany is better. I've been studying history, and all those philosophers and historians, they're from Germany.
Germany also has lots of social welfare projects and things like that.
I read lots of books by Germans.
You should go to this website called Study in Germany. And all the political parties have foundations. At the moment, I'm in touch with people who work with the Rosa Luxemburg Foundation because they support projects related to women's equality. And they also have grants for projects abroad.
Projects abroad as well.
Yes, but also to study in Germany.
I'd be interested in that.
I think if you go there early enough, there would definitely be a chance, right?
Good.
And then we'll have to do a little more German, don't you think?
I have the will and energy to support myself. I know a lot of young guys who just sit back and collect welfare benefits, but I'll keep fighting until I reach my goals by my own steam. I think if everything works out, I'll get married and have a family. I'd like to be with a Muslim woman. That's my wish.
On State Road 60 West. Rasheen is traveling in Florida with her old friend Payam from Tehran. They talk about their experiences as emigres and the loss of their homeland.
The first 3 months were so hard. I'd sit at the window in the evening longing to hear voices and noises from back home, like in the streets and alleyways of my hometown. But then I'd hear these young Americans laughing and talking in a different language. It was so infuriating. It's hard to believe someone could be so bothered by that, but I really wanted to hear something Persian, something in my mother tongue. I don't know if you experienced that when you left.
Of course I did. 3 months is such a short amount of time. For me, the first year was very difficult. Of course, I had Thomas, who supported me, but it was still very hard. It really took 2 years for that to get better. I can honestly say the first 2 years were tough, especially the first year, and then it got better. But I had to start working before I started to feel that Berlin was my city and my home.
من از وقتی که رفتم سر کار احساس کردم که برلین شهرمه، اونجا خونمه.
So you knew you were going to stay there?
Yes, because a person like me who has been working for years identifies herself through her work.
Do
you want okay on drinks and everything?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Wait for you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
All finished with that quesadilla? All right. If you guys need anything, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Have you gotten accustomed to German culture? How do you see the difference to America, for instance?
I think I've become a bit like the Germans. I don't believe it's simply chance that you end up in a particular country. Something inside you leads you there. My way of thinking is kind of German, so that's perhaps why I ended up there.
It's okay.
Konstantin has invited his friends to a barbecue in his parents-in-law's allotment garden.
Вот. Люди, а вообще можно подходить сюда. Это стоит здесь. Какую красоту наводит, а?
Я? Нет, это мои родители все наводят. Да?
Skip photo.
I've chosen my own fate and my path in life. I live in Germany. I have no reason to complain. Everything is going very nicely. More than anything, I want my loved ones to be healthy and happy. As far as relations between Jews and Germans go, I know that everything related to World War II is a painful topic for Germans. The people here acknowledge the situation. They have accepted their historical responsibility for the terrible crimes and show remorse. Most of the people I meet are open and honest. Some of them know I'm Jewish. Some of them don't. It doesn't seem to be an issue for them.
Но явно, что их этот момент не так сильно, может быть, касается. Вот. Более...
Почему русский? У нас все можно.
Надо не закрашивать.
Давайте успокоимся сами. Начнем как-то...
Нет, серьезно.
Тут через межпульт не говорили, все нормально.
Like most expatriates, Konstantin and his friends compare life in their new country with that in the old one. They've had varied experiences integrating into German society.
У меня опыт очень небольшой общения с здешней бюрократией.
I haven't had that much experience with bureaucracy here, but it's like night and day.
Compared to Russia.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Like they say, in Russia, you can find a solution to every problem, but it's illegal. You pay the money and the problem is solved. Here it depends on the individual person or official, and they're all different.
Exactly.
On the day we arrived in Leipzig, they said to us, if you don't like it here, you can go back home. Just because we asked if we could have a separate room. There we are in a room with 14 strangers. And they say to us, go back to where you came from.
Since we came to Germany 10, 11 years ago, there hasn't been a single day when my husband and I felt ill-treated. We're grateful to Germany for this chance. In Ukraine, we had no opportunities. Here we have our cafe, I'm finishing up job training, and our children are growing up safe and secure.
Полюшка моё, родники, дальних деревень огоньки, золотая рожь, пой, кудрявый лед, пой о том, как я в Россию влюблен, пой, золотая рожь, да, кудрявый лед, я влюблен в тебя, Россия, влюблен. Шашлык готов.
At the moment, my job is very stressful because we're restructuring the department. I have a new boss and I'm not sure what's going to happen. The uncertainty isn't so nice. There's also some uncertainty in my private life. I keep wondering how things will continue. Will I always be alone, or will I meet someone to love? It's so typical of Berlin in the summertime. When I walk along the river and see couples kissing or lying together in the sun, I can't help but ask myself, why don't I have a real partner?
In the evening, Rasheen tells a friend about her experiences with online dating.
And always sitting in front of the computer, looking through profiles and then writing, it's exhausting. And those main dating sites like Partnership mit Nouveau or Elite cost 50 euros a month. 50 euros. This one here is much cheaper and you can see everything about them. He's a manager, he's studied economics, he comes from the state of Hessen.
Oh, I thought he was Iranian.
No, he's German.
But you did have this Iranian.
No, I don't want one. There was an Iranian who was interested, but this one is a German from Hessen.
He's not from Berlin.
No, but he lives in Berlin.
Oh.
Yes, he's been here for 7 years, just like me. He lives in Friedrichshain, and the way he talks so calmly. And we had a really good conversation. I mean, either he's good or he's not, and if not, so much for him.
I see.
At her university in Mexico, Florina is participating in a book project. Students with indigenous roots are telling stories about their often difficult childhoods.
I looked for ways I could work in the fields. I asked my family, my grandparents, if they knew of anyone looking for people, for children, to help. I was still a child myself. My parents did everything they could to send us to school. It took a lot of effort, but we finally bought a school notebook and a pencil for me. I carried my books, or my book, in a plastic bag from the store. There was a lot of poverty. In our case, it was absolutely exceptional and a great achievement that we managed to go to school.
During Mexico's presidential campaign in 2012, student protests at Florina's university kicked off mass demonstrations against Enrique Peña Nieto.
We're now seeing lots of people going out on the street to protest, young people, children, old people, because they aren't happy with the new president. I'm one of those who disapprove of him, and I've also been taking part in the protests. I've been campaigning with groups that want to express their objections to this new president. I think what we're seeing is an attack on Mexican society, on the indigenous peoples and human rights, on the people as a whole.
Hacia un pueblo.
I'm still in touch with people from the orphanage. Sometimes they'll send me a text message or presents on my birthday. It makes me very happy. We're still like a family.
Amir is picking up Osman, a friend from his time in the orphanage. They're going to visit Albert, their former guardian, at his home in Donauwörth.
Hey, you lost some weight, but you're looking good.
Really?
I just can't stop eating.
Nice car. We're getting older.
That's normal. Next year I have to get moving on family life.
Family life?
I want to start a family.
Have they found a wife for you yet?
All I have to do is say yes.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I really don't want to live alone anymore.
Yes, it's boring, isn't it?
Grüß Gott. Hallo. Grüß dich. Das ist ja nett. Hallo Osman. Gibt's dich auch noch? Ich lebe noch. Er lebt noch, ja. Gut hergekommen. Ja. Hockt euch da einfach mal.
Have a seat.
Alles klar.
Okay. I'll sit over here.
Can I get you something to drink?
We always wanted to pay Albert a visit. We've only been to your office, and now here we are.
sitting around my table.
It's nice. Are we the first, or were the other guys here?
No, you're the first ones.
First ones. So this is like
a kind of premiere. This is the main shopping street in Donauwörth.
How much is that jacket?
It costs 60 euros, but it's a lady's jacket. I'd recommend one for men, this coat for $1.99, or that beautiful scarf.
Yeah, the coat is a bit bureaucratic.
Maybe, but it's warm. That street over there is a problem, Mohrengasse.
What's it called?
Mohrengasse.
What's that mean, Mohrengasse?
You don't know what that means? Mohren, Moors.
Mohren? Yeah, I've heard that.
It's an old term for blacks. See the three Moors up there?
That's so racist.
The three black figures? They're dancing, right?
That's right. I don't know where the name comes from. I just want them to change it. It's offensive.
Okay.
It's pretty insulting. Mohrengasse, not bad.
Why don't you run for mayor?
I never thought about it. Do you think I could become mayor?
Sure.
Okay, then you have to get citizenship and move here and vote for me. Then I'll have a chance.
But don't you start saying foreigners out.
No, I'd never say that.
No, don't you go sing out with them. We don't want these three Moors here.
Florina is meeting a friend for dinner. They're sharing an order of tlayudas, a speciality from Florina's home state of Oaxaca.
Wait, is there another one?
No, there are 7, so 3.5 each.
Right, 3.5. You get one half, I get the other.
Are you graduating soon?
Theoretically, I need one more semester.
You're on the home stretch.
Yes, it's very exciting. But it's been very hard. I had to work the whole time I was studying. Work, study. I have to divide myself into 3 or 4 people.
Do you have plans for after you're finished?
I'd like to do graduate studies, in human rights maybe. And I'd like to go to Germany to study.
That sounds good. You were there before.
Yes. And a part of me stayed there. There's some connection. I identify with Germany. The experiences I had there, I felt so free. I was respected. I was like another person. I felt different from the way I feel in Mexico. That was 6 years ago. Today I see things differently. I don't want to leave my country for good. I see there are many problems here, and they affect us, and we have a responsibility
to do something.
To do something, in this case especially for the indigenous communities here, for my people, my culture, and for the culture of the others. My thoughts about going to Germany have changed. The idea still appeals to me, but it's no longer about fleeing my country. It's the opposite. I can go there and learn lots of things, and then return to my country and use all that knowledge here. I'm much more aware of just how many problems we have here in Mexico.
Rasheen has phoned her sister in Iran to wish her a happy birthday.
Last summer I met someone, and at first I was so delighted and thought, wow, I've really hit the bullseye. But after 2 weeks I realized, no, this isn't it. For the time being, it's okay. I'm just so happy with my life and my free time and my work that there's no room for a new person. If it happens, it happens. I can't say what plan I have for the future or what my goal is. My goal is to be happy, to find inner peace and just enjoy life, and to experience happiness in life.
Glück im Leben spüren können.
Последний автобус ушел, а клуб открылся ночью, это очень хорошо. Теперь нам некуда спешить, давай зайдем сюда. Я привычно завтра не суббота, среда. Berlin, du wolltest am besten Tag in Berlin. Ich strebe den Pforte mit dem Tag in Berlin. Das Jammern ist keine müde Fahrt in Berlin. Doch ich mag bei Berlin, doch wenn ich gar nichts verdiene. Jeden Tag schreibe ich Fahrt in Berlin. Im Fall ist nichts voll, doch ich schlafe in Berlin. Mit Großmann bin ich am Start in Berlin. Ich bin hier geboren und ich bin seit Grad in Berlin. Zweite Runde. Es muss noch mehr werden. Berlin. Hódkónak falva Berlin közepén, akkor mert a főutcán